Hey, this is Jeff Towson, Peking University. I'm here on campus in Beijing today, and this video is how I applied Warren Buffett's 25-5 rule to my career, and it made all the difference. Back in a second. So it's a normal day here at Peking University. I'm over by the lake, which is kind of it's the nice place to take a walk. I'll give you a little look around here. So Warren Buffett's 25-5 rule, I'm not sure it's really his rule. This comes from a story. It may not be true. I think it's probably true, but I've never really been able to confirm it. And the story goes like this, that he has an airplane called the Indefensible, which is a good name for an airplane that I guess you're charging to your company. And he has a pilot, Mike Flint, and the story goes that he had sort of been talking with him about his own career goals, the pilot, and he told him to make a list of his top 25 career goals, write it down, always better to write it down, and then, to circle the top 5. So he did this, and I encourage you to do it. I did it. Do it with paper, write it down, try and be specific. Try and make your goals tangible and daring, but not ludicrous. I'm not going to be an NBA star. Okay, so the pilot does that. He comes back. Here's my 25. Here's the top 5. And the lesson of this is it's about focus. You're not going to accomplish 25 things in your life. If you really focus long term, you can do 3 to 5, maybe, big ones. And the greatest impediment to you not having focus is numbers 6 through 25, because those are the things you're interested in. Those are your biggest potential distractions in life. And you've got to learn to identify your top 5 and your 6 through 25. And 6 through 25 are now the things you say no to, because you're going to be tempted. That's your biggest problem. So it's a lesson in focus, down to a couple things, focus on them long term, and get good at saying no to everything else. All right, I'm going to head over to the building here. There's a little bit of a media thing this morning, so I'm going to go do that real quick. Now, the funny thing is, I do kind of a lot of this stuff now, the talking to the press, writing, speaking, and I never used to do much of that. And the irony is I'm actually a really quiet person. I don't talk that much, and now I just never seem to shut up. It's kind of funny how this has worked out. Okay, so, I made my list of 25 goals. Truth is, I could only get to about 15. Then I started just making up weird stuff. I had about 15 that I considered serious, and I pared that down to my top 4 professional goals. And I had a couple personal ones, but just in terms of the professional ones, that was about 3 to 4. And number 1 on the list was to build an investment group, an investment platform within healthcare. US, China, that I thought would really be one of maybe say the top 5 or 10 in the world. And that's a big goal. It may take me 10, 15 years to get there, but that's sort of number 1. Number 2 is within my area of research, writing, teaching, speaking, books, all of this, the professor hat, within digital competition, digital China, to build a platform, a team, maybe an institute that really is sort of somewhere that people look to and say, that's the group to follow. That's sort of the best thinking. So that's another platform. It'll probably take 10 years to get there if I succeed. Number 3 is easy. Number 3 is just go to the gym 3 times a week. And then number 4 is maybe the most simple one, which is I want to give a talk at the World Economic Forum one day at Davos. Go in and give a talk. I have no idea how I'm going to pull that off or if I'm going to pull it off, but that's more of a one-off goal. And if that one I finish, then another spot has opened up. I'll move one of my others in. But those are sort of my top 3 to 4. Now, in doing this, it was a lot about forcing myself to let go of other things I had thought about for a long time. I used to be a doctor. I always think about practicing medicine in some form. And I've really forced myself to say, nope, we're not going to do that. We'll focus on my 3, no. Simpler stuff, social media, reading the newspaper. I don't really read the newspaper anymore. I don't do Facebook or those things anymore. If they relate to 1 or 2, I will do them, but otherwise I've really just I don't do it anymore. And I've learned to say no to a lot of things that were soaking up my time. So that's sort of been the benefit to me, is I'm focused much more strongly on a couple things, and I can say no very, very quickly to other things that I used to think about. "25-5 rule, you isolate, focus on your big 3 to 5 dreams, you learn to ignore the rest." I think that's half the equation. The other half of the equation is translating those big long-term goals, dreams, into what I call daily habits. Or look, I'm not exactly sure how to get to my dream, but I need to take certain steps forward every day such that every day I'm making progress and time becomes my big ally. So example, I talked about one of my goals was to build an investment platform. Now, within investment platforms, the 2 activities that matter are sort of finding deals and then analyzing companies. Okay, on my iPad, on my computer, on my phone, it always says 811G. I have it on all my screens. That basically tells me every day I have to reach out to 8 new people within my deal network. I have to read 1 new annual report in healthcare. I have to analyze entirely 1 company or deal in healthcare, and then the G is I got to go to the gym. That stuff really adds up, and that's all I have to do in a given day. Okay, that's 8 people today. Maybe I didn't know them before. It's 8 people tomorrow. It's 8 people the day after. At the end of the week, 40 people. At the end of the month, 160 people. At the end of the year, 1,200 new people in my deal network. Time is becoming my best friend. Companies, it's the same, 1 to 2 companies per day, 5 to 10 per week, and then that gets you 20 to 40 per month. Again, that's anywhere, let's say 300 companies per year in my sector I'm going through. I'm getting much smarter every single day. It really does add up. So I think that's the other half of this equation. Take your big dreams once you've identified them, got them focused, pretty specific, translate them to daily habits, and then just stay on schedule. If you do that, your greatest ally in any of this is time. Okay, I gotta go teach. And that's basically my story. Hopefully that's helpful to you. I found it really helpful in my own career and also sort of my personal life, but I didn't go into that stuff so much. So anyways, thanks so much for watching these little videos, and a special thanks to all of you that came out in Beijing this last week to the event at the Bookworm. It was really a special sort of thing. It's something I'm always going to remember. So thank you for that. Anyways, this is Towson, Peking University, currently in Beijing.